Hey, sister. Happy Saturday. If you're tuning in live, I am coming in here live on Podbean. If you have the app, you might be able to hear me. I just came in here because I wanted to share a little mini devotional. I call it the Open Arms of the Father, of our Father. And this is inspired by something I read this morning. And honestly, it was just a short verse. I am doing a a Bible study that's a 2 year Bible study to go through the entire Bible. And today was just a reflection day. And so it just kind of went back to one of the verses, or two, I believe, verses from from this week's stories. And this week was what stood out to me was because I'm reading about I was reading about Genesis. Well, I'm reading in Genesis about the story of Jacob and Isaac and the whole family lineage. And anyway, the idea that came to connect that with the story is the story of the prodigal son. So the prodigal son um, is in Luke 15 verse 11 through 32, and it's because Joseph's brother, so Joseph um had gotten basically betrayed by his brothers. I mean, they just long story short, they left him, they basically sold him into slavery because they were jealous and felt threatened. They were his half brothers. But anyway, so they were just like they didn't like him. They didn't like him because they thought he was arrogant. So at the end, Joseph's story unfolds and it just becomes this beautiful thing where Joseph really looks like welcomes back, like just forgives his brothers and welcomes them and really helps them and welcomes them with open arms. Like, yes, he was upset, he was mad, but he forgave. And so I think what it did is it connected it to because it because I guess my 2 year Bible reading plan connects New Testament too. So I was like, oh, cool, that's why they connected it. Because if you know the story of the prodigal son, it's where, and I'll do a quick recap and then I will read the verses. So the father, one of the sons wanted his inheritance and wanted to leave the house, and he got his inheritance. Of course, that was already extremely disrespectful that he would even do that, because it's almost like saying, like, I mean, it's basically when your dad, passes away, or your parents pass away. And so that was extremely disrespectful. So he took it, obviously was being very selfish, went out, squandered it, spent it all, and then came to poverty and misery, and then said, "Man, if I go back to my dad's and I can, just and I'm paraphrasing here, of course, uh, I could just eat from, I'll become a servant. I mean, I'm not worthy to be like his son. I'll just be a servant, but at least I'll have something. I think he'll give me that." So he goes back, and then his father welcomes him with open arms, and he says in verse 35, so the other brother was angry because he was like, "I can't believe I've been here with you all these years and now you're just welcoming this son of yours back. Like, how could you do that?" So his father says in verse 31 of Luke 15, if you want to read that with me, it says, "My son," the father said, "you're always with me and everything I have is yours, but we had to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." And it's like, wow, like, he was lost and is found. He was happy, he celebrated. He didn't think about all the past. He just thought his son is back. And I think about how God is like that with us. Like, wow, isn't that just a beautiful thought? If you are in this place where have left the Lord, or you're in that place where your faith is just really small, you're maybe getting to that place or back to a lot of worldliness, just know that God will welcome you with open arms. You just need to repent. I mean, he repented. He was like, I don't deserve it. He was in a humble place. He was humbled in his life. And sometimes we do need that. Unfortunately, some of us learned the hard way. I did. I certainly did. Not with everything, but certainly with my spiritual walk. And that was pretty big. I learned the hard way. But to know that, it's not too late and God can welcome you with open arms. And that is just so amazing. And I wanted to just take a moment to reflect on that and encourage you, sister, to remember that. So Again, I'm here doing this live. I don't know if my little microphone is working. Hopefully the sound is not too bad because this kind of semi new computer I have is a little hard to figure out. I'm still trying to figure that out. So I don't know if the sound is very good. I hope so. But I wanted to also let you know something super, super amazing that is happening this next week. And I didn't want you to miss out. I announced it in my other podcast. I have a second podcast. I've mentioned in here just a couple times. It's really for teachers, but anybody can really listen to it. Anyone who wants to educate, who wants to start a podcast, who wants to put their voice out there in the world, whether it's just for ministry and just share your thoughts with the Lord, with about the Lord, with the world, right? Or you have a business and you want to expand it and or anything like that, you can start a podcast. So I actually have that. It's called Her Teacher Voice, and I announced this in there yesterday. And so check it out if you want to check out the full announcement and you want to check out the last episode and you're curious about podcasting. And what I do is I direct you to my amazing coach and mentor there, and I also help you with finding time to podcast. Basically, that's like my thing because I'm really good with finding batches of time and using, of course, time blocks as well. But also, more importantly, I am really good with routines and how routines really help you get the thing done. Because I talk about how routines are so important. And even in the Bible, when you're spending time with the Lord, if you make it a routine, that's going to be something that just is hard to change. It's a good habit not to break. You know what I mean? So the routine can become a habit. Anyway, going back to the announcement is this. So next week, my amazing coach and mentor, Stephanie Gass, is doing what's called a profitable podcast boot camp. And it is amazing. I've been part of it twice, even before I entered her program. It's for free, and she basically helps you to start a podcast and teaches you how to grow it and teaches you how you can even start either a ministry or a business through the podcast, or your business could be your ministry as well. So I'm going to invite you to go to stephaniegas.com/, um, boot camp. I was like, wait, okay, yeah, stephaniegas.com slash boot camp. And the way you spell her name is Stefanie and then GASS. So stephaniegas.com slash boot camp. I want to invite you because I am sure there's sisters in here who are like, how do you do what you do, Rosie? Like, I want to get my voice out there, but I'm not sure how. Or I do have something. I have like a side hustle, a business, but I want to get it out there into the world. Or I really want to share my relationship with God with the world. And podcasting is the way. It really is. Like I'm could show up in my pajamas like I am right now, literally with my hair a big mess. And y'all don't know because y'all don't see me. you know, it's okay. And mornings are just the day. This is my routine, right? I podcast, I do my podcasting thing in the morning after I have my time with the Lord. And that's what I do. So I came in here live. I usually don't come in here live, but today I was like, let me do it because number one, I wanted to share this reflection, which is really powerful. It's short, but powerful, but I also wanted to announce this amazing, amazing opportunity for you. So if this is something that resonates with you, go to stephaniegas.com/, boot camp. And then also, so you can sign up, it's not too late. And you can even sign up on Monday if you get this a little later, it's okay. You can join her anytime that week. It's fine too. It's totally free. And she has replays that week. So if you miss it, it's okay. Because I know you're not used to me coming in on a Saturday. So you might be like, oh no, I'm listening to it a little late. How do I just join? It's okay. And of course, if you're listening to this after that week, after next week, and anytime after that, simple. Just go to theintentionalchristianwoman.com/start a podcast. That's my website where you can connect with her. I am an affiliate with her, so I do gain a small commission. I disclaimer that. But I truly believe in her programs, and that's why I refer people because it is truly like it. She's the real deal, 120% real deal, and she's an amazing woman of the Lord, truly. All right, my sister, I'm gonna let you go right now because my daughter's calling me. She's awake and she's ready for my attention. I love you, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.